so well for hitting playoffs. This young team, still able to stay consistent, could definitely come at 100 Thieves a lot harder than they're expecting here. As we start off on Lotus, we just heard the desk. 100 Thieves, Lotus has not been the sharpest lately. Their previous game versus Loud did not go well, so we'll see if they can right the wrongs here in the beginning of this one and stop G2's defense. Quite a few Sheriffs around, but Ghosts for 100 Thieves so they can get this long-range fight on A to start off as they just leave Boostio to watch C.
You already see when the wall came up on his A side for the Thieves. There's some pop shots that were shot coming out here from Trent. He already does damage onto Cryo. So 100 Thieves, I'm going to try to walk into this site wounded. Although scaling up towards the staircase, it's ready so far though. Jonah P is just on the other end, just jiggling and making sure that he gets contact, but doesn't want to force the issue and force the fight.
Wow, I'm just reading this play already too, but expecting the utility first. Will it be a dry peek is the thing. 100 Thieves can play contact from here, but the space they've taken, it's almost more of an advantage to wait and see if G2 will try to re-clear. And it is just going to be that quick peek. 100 Thieves start to move towards A as the door opens, but they have the spike alone. They have to get in sight first.
Icy and Trent both already taken down. Jonah P on top of Heaven, and he's going to have to wait out the rotate. Valen's already grouped up with him, but Leaf is still a little bit too far ahead. Plant going in for the tree, and all players of 100 Thieves are playing inside that site. So they really want to smother right now, something that 100 Thieves have been good with, going for immediate trades. But Jonah P is able to answer first on the attempt of a retake for G2. There's the flank from behind from Leaf. Headshot onto Cryo as we win it up on the 3 versus 3. But 100 Thieves are still holding out towards the site as they all fall down in the end for G2, and that's a strong hold for 100 Thieves to start off the series.
Great job by 100 Thieves. You see them all just like stop dead in the middle of that. The fist bumps come out immediately as they take A, they hit the site, plant down, and it was a very patient round too. They were waiting out that time towards rubble to see if G2 would get any rotations on. And we had Boostio on the left side of the map to start. So it came down to hitting the shots and teamwork in the site. Doesn't tell us too much about these rounds other than 100 Thieves is ready to play patient so far. Especially since they had the Ghost and the Sheriff. Usually you stay back for the shots, but they were creeping up as much as they could. Oh my gosh, creeping up here is G2 though, right in the smoke.
Thing is, there's not going to be a flash really, so it's a haunt to throw up. Satchel's up towards the air, but there's a lot of players from 100 Thieves on the other side. This should be easy pickings for now, but the paint shells does do damage on the defensive side. Continues the trades as Boostio moves forward and finally gets a tally. Any advantage for the Thieves. G2 trying to push through and surprise the attack side. But seems like 100 Thieves once again, just ready on these type of calls that G2's trying to do on their ecos.
Boostio stack in the lockdown already. Asuna 3 points on the ult. They're just waiting for this push from Leaf to be the last one. A 3K, the hat trick from Boostio on that. Just 4 away from the lockdown here to start. And we'll see if we do get this buy next round. And yeah, instantly buy into the low armor on the bonus. See this push once again. G2 just trying to get a little active. I mean, to think if 100 Thieves isn't here and they go for the same A strat, that might be a lot of timing for G2. But Boostio reads that there might be some trickery on the map.
And there's always good things coming out from 100 Thieves. You look at the pistol round, it was great utility to take down Icy in the back of the A site. That previous round, just one boombot forced G2's hand to fight. And this time around they want to do it. And here's the play here that Ender was mentioned before. This time it's Asuna doing it though on the side of the Thieves. Satcheling forward, heavily damaged, but also able to push away G2. Conceding now control of the A side. There's only now Trent holding the tree. But once again, 100 Thieves seems to be playing a G2 style. Very slow and methodical of taking the rubble control and just want to wait it out to maybe try to punish any type of over-aggression, over-peaking that could come out from G2 towards the end. But both of these teams are really just trying to play off the first mistakes. G2 so far behind.
They have that alarm bot mid already for Leaf's push last round, just to make sure that area can't be prioritized by G2 to start. And they're going to do a little bit of a fake here with EU. Quick prowler into sight as they're still encroaching onto A. G2 very tempered on their movement. They haven't seen anything that really makes them worry, so why are they running off their first positions? Great defensive control so far, and it should be a solid retake once the plant goes down.
Because the alarm bot also didn't go up towards that C side, so no early rotates came out from G2. That was actually a good play to keep them in the C side, weaken up the A side, where once again, 100 Thieves are going to go for a 5-man hit. G2 staying on top of Heaven though. But Trent still manages to get a spray and take down Bang, and that's a spike down with 15 seconds left. 2 HP once again on this Asuna, trying to get the plant down, trying to build up the showstopper here. As he gets the plant down, Hunt being thrown on the defensive side, and Trent continues to open up from the top of heaven, giving an opening for G2 to be able to move inside the site. Cryo doing whatever he could, but it's only for a 1 kill.
Yeah.
And that's great plays from G2, but off heroic plays from Trent at the start.
What was that? Triple from Trent, double from Leaf. Easy cleanup there towards the A side. Not even that much of a low buy. I think there was the outlaw for maybe low armor, but G2 had low armor too. They fought right through it. And again, very patient on the defense. Valen is not pulling anybody off their site.
One enemy remaining.
Very confident in the way they're playing these here. And they've collapsed onto the A site pretty well, even on the pistol round. It was just 100 Thieves hitting their shots. So the protocols here from G2 are looking pretty solid. Just looking at Bang. Making a low buy in here, may completely save for himself. And they're gonna head towards C with a little bit of a watch. We got also
Free the pets.
Leaf's haircut looking fly.
Yeah.
Turning over a new leaf, if you will.
And so are we right now in the round. Thank you for your patience. Round number 4 now resumes. And then the first blood from Valen. Right through the one-way smoke on the seaside as Asuna falls. And we just talked about the duels and the opening frags. That's been, I think, at 64% for Asuna. That number's going to go down now as he just lost that fight to Valen on the C site.
We're towards C. First, a little bit of aggression here on Rubble, too, as they're kind of staying confident on holding that area. If 100 Thieves leave, they have to do something to retake Rubble and at least pressure G2. Doesn't look like that's even the idea, though. Valen's in sight. It looks like he's in sight to stay for this fight, too. This could get messy.
Exactly. This is big because Asuna falls. There's no paint shells that can break the utility from the nanoswarms over. So it should still make it difficult right now for 100 Thieves to make it through, especially now that the Poison Orb came up here on the defensive side. Although, Valen didn't get damaged by a bit of utility thrown by 100 Thieves.
If only 100 Thieves knew what they were, what chaos they'd actually caused in the site. But simple smokes, G2 again, staying patient. Valen calls, no, nothing's happening. Back to your spots. They've even kind of anchored back into sight here, right? If you're trying to hold Rubble at 30 seconds left in the round and you die, they're going to run right in. So you see A backing up as C is the final hit, though.
The commitment there, and Strona P anchoring towards that site. The 2 of them follow the backstab onto Cryo. No help coming out as his teammates are falling down on the attack side. And EU now with 13 seconds left, nothing he could do. Potentially here for 100 Thieves was still trying to find and probe some information outside of the map. And EU has no chance down to move in for a plant. Still wants to anchor down for a fight. And it's Leaf that's going to take it.
2-2. Incredibly confident defending here from G2 Esports. How can 100 Thieves make him sweat is the question. Probably not on this next eco round. But getting that, Jonah P doing a hell of a job anchoring the backside of C here as there's a quick distraction, even on that last kill for Bang. And this is quick and clean so far for these few gun rounds. Now to Sheriffs for a side 100 Thieves. Let's see what they can put to the mix. Still haven't lurked mid yet. See Boostio kind of get around the map and start setting a few precedents and giving G2 something to think about. Right now, G2's only had to deal with what they're seeing. There's no real fake outs yet. You got to consider that's pretty easy to play against for them. Orb collection, Boostio very close now to ult along with Asuna here.
That's the thing, they're not giving it to Asuna at this point, so they're going to want to play the long game. In the next round, potentially, if both Boostio and Asuna fall, that is a lockdown and a showstopper ready on the attack side for 100 Thieves to maybe potentially turn it around. But so far, you're looking at the economy. This is an eco coming out from the Thieves and an opportunity for G2 to take the lead in this first map.
Great macro here to retake Rubble. Continue to pressure at 1 minute. And make sure 100 Thieves is not gaining too much space. Super smart play.
Yeah, Pain Shell is going to split them a bit, but the weapons are still too good for G2. They still pull up over here with the advantage by that one player. But Jonah P will have to fall back towards that A site. Weapons will then be picked up by 100 Thieves, so 2 Vandals now in their hands for Bang and Cryo. There's already really a crossfire setup getting ready with potentially the door opening and then the door breaking here towards Hobbit. Leaf is just waiting inside of this smoke. There's that double swing out, but there's always still that second support on the side of G2.
They pull into the lead. Losing quite a few guns there, but the money looks great on the side of G2, so they're not going to worry too much about it. 4 ultimates now for 100 Thieves. You have to think if they're going to stop the momentum, this is going to be the round. There should be no reason they don't get through this. Unless G2 can come up with the first bloods, unless they can quickly strike again like Valorant just did to start off that last round. 100 Thieves are going to go ahead, hit the big timeout button. I don't know. Icy's going to be looking with an operator, and they may find a lot more than they were looking for on the side of 100 Thieves. Looks like we'll get a little bit of a flank from Bang, though.
Shadows traveling.
Just trying to make sure that on the A side, he hears the audios and see if there's any pressure coming out on the A side. And no utilities being used, but yet 100 Thieves still want to commit. They open up the C side for now, and there's no support. Icy couldn't answer back with the operator, but we'll still try to anchor it down towards the C site. Aiming it down, there's that lurk coming out from that B side. Bang going head-to-head against Trent. Prowler to push him away, but not swinging out on that, and the door opening. Realizes that it's being pushed, he falls back. Lockdown now set down towards the C site, forcing Icy to give up his position towards C. And should be now an open site for 100 Thieves to plant.
Easy hit there. What are we looking at? Haunt's not up. They do have a Prowler to come in with the C's. Roomba can clear Paranoia, so decent retake here for G2, but that's a lot of members, 100 Thieves ready for it.
Trent has a Nightfall available and still trying to wait it out. Potentially just waiting on the timing of the smokes and maybe even counter back on the Nightfall. Thrown on the attack side by EU. Off shot missed though by Icy. Difficult to retain now with this operator, and he's hoping to land one, but it's EU going for that wide swing. A double swing out from the Thieves to give the advantage and forcing now G2 to fall back and also losing the operator in the process.
The beginning of this round, that peak at long C is exactly what we saw yesterday from 100 Thieves. They come out into a situation where they're in a crossfire from G2, but somehow 100 Thieves snap to the heads of G2 in the corner on Jonah P, and they take down another peeker from long C. Just the speed at which they can adapt to the situation that their opponents put on them is incredible. Yeah, and they open up the main portion of defense for G2 that round in a moment. That's exactly how 100 Thieves started to pace themselves yesterday and get a lot of momentum going. Now Boostio with the operator.
Yeah,
they're gonna switch that big rifle over and see what they can do with it on the side of the attack now. Ultimate for Asuna. 3 ults for G2's side here.
Yeah, and picking that up. Left behind from the body of Icy, and I wonder if that's going to slow down the tempo, though, of 100 Thieves because they have this operator to work with. All of them, once again, grouped up on a default. C-site control and potentially orb as well. Making a lot of noise in the process, and it seems as though G2 thought it was going to be an easy orb to get picked up on the A side, but it gets punished right away by Bang.
That's been free space for G2, right? Maybe they get a little lax trying to push that since they've just gained rubble, held the space, and backed up when they want. But yeah, Bang playing a little sneaky sneak there on the platform, gets the first frag of the round, and that's going to be on Icy. Still working over towards C. We have not seen B yet. Just imagine, this is still something 100 Thieves can throw into the mix, because G2 think it's going to be open. It's going to be open. We don't have to defend it.
Might finish there now.
There.
Might finish there now because the turret also brought out the pit, so that's C site on lock. 100 Thieves trying to pivot back towards the A side. Paranoia to push them away. 36 seconds left on the clock. There's the showstopper going out from Asuna, trying to take control towards Rubble. Players are falling down towards that Rubble side, but Valen not before he takes down Bang in the process. 3 ults though still available on the defensive side for G2 for the retake. Ooh. Leaf almost got caught, or almost caught one rather. He's trying to cross inside this A site.
Ultimate coming down. That's going to have to move the operator out of tree too. This is actually a sticky situation here for 100 Thieves, and G2 keep an eye on that doorway.
Trying to TP with the timing too. Actually sticks it. There's the push towards that spawn. The ult fall!
Oh my. What an edit. Well, they adapted so well on the side of G2 to lose Icy. And then Valen calls everyone back basically into a safer position so they can get the retake, knowing Leaf was going to be able to get out on that round to use it. Yeah, really, really forward thinking there from the side of G2 after losing a member. Being able to defend quite a bit here at A and just whittle away at the numbers enough. Yeah, the lockdown to seal the deal so nicely. So a lot of ults there used by G2, but they get the operator back, they get the round, and they switch it back to themselves. It's exactly what they wanted. Causes a lot of spending on the side of 100 Thieves. You can see very low credits for them now. Ooh, Asuna looking to get activated now. That's exactly what we've been thinking for 100 Thieves to get this momentum in their favor.
Trent falling back at the same time. Just trying to see if there's more utility being thrown outside when the door closes. Now confirms that nobody committed behind this door that was opened up by the Thieves. So nobody really fully reacting off of G2. Just making sure that the pressure points are being looked after, though. Door hasn't been broken yet. Oh, a jump spot there by Busio that sees that Leaf was there with the off.
Just blinked for a moment.
Feels like he wants to go again, though. And that would be in great Busio fashion.
It would. And you're kind of keeping the operator there, right?
And he tried it out. The drop smoke to allow Busio to swing out. But couldn't get the kill, and that's going to force now 100 Thieves to just try to execute towards this A site. There's that showstopper this time on the defensive side as the door opens up for a second time. BB door now open. Jonah B just waiting around the corner. Showstopper denied though by Asuna on the other side, and we tied up the situation for the round. 33 seconds left, but the spike is down and covered by Jonah P. Just inside Hobbit, and Busio's trying to lurk up. A battle towards the A side, won by Trent, and Busio once again cannot capitalize and surprise an opponent on a rotate.
20 seconds left.
At least punishes him towards the end, but Jonah P still holds his ground. Moving forward with the knife out. He flies away just like the wand. And Jonah P's allowing G2 to get the round up to 5.
What I think what we're seeing is it looks like 100 Thieves just does not have an answer right now to this slow, methodical defense. The movement of G2 Esports, they're not giving up the information of their positions before anything happens. So Busio can infer that, okay, a lot of the initiator utilities over here, we can push through the Killjoy utility and be on site because that's all they have. Like, they cannot get any of that right now. And they gotta figure out a way to make G2 sweat here. Pressuring one site is just not working. They are going to go for the 4-1 again. Leaf,
a great
already
buy.
starts him off.
Great buy by Leaf to go with the Outlaw. Understanding economy is low.
Smart.
Now that dwindles down to numbers, and you saw the alarm bot chasing after Busio running in. The Outlaw comes back out, and a second connects with the wall bang. Busio falls, but the site is open, and there's an opportunity for the Thieves to plant. And that will allow a little bit of economy to move into the next round. G2's okay to give that up. Take that 300 credits. We don't care. We just want the rounds.
Poison's off.
Slowly, look, everybody's watching the same spot. This is going to be a tough defense here. Leaf already takes one out.
Just going to keep on raining it forward here with the Outlaw. Now IC's the one pushing forward, but Bang is there with 2 kills. A third one right in the face of Leaf. But Trent finally moves in for the trade. Thankfully, there's good economy for G2, but Bang was almost about to step up to the plate just like yesterday.
Yeah, having one of his best games yesterday and still showing a bit of that prowess today, but still G2's round 6-3. Just methodical on the way they are taking out 100 Thieves. They don't look pressured even on the retakes. It's minimal util that they're using too. They're using it correctly. That one piece gets such an advantage, and they can move off maybe the next paranoia after the haunt comes in. Just one after the other, the 1-2 punch. All right, 3 in a row. It seems to be what they can collect before 100 Thieves stops and gets one.
Yeah, definitely. If you're looking at the pattern of that timeline.
Yeah. Trent with the Odin now, ringing out from A. So that's already going to put a pause on any pushing out towards that side of the map, and it's C. Again, that's all 100 Thieves can see, apparently. They go for this orb, and they know that's been free. But what are they doing with it that has been able to get through G2?
Won't be able to see too much into C because of this pit coming through, and it seems like it's, what, after 3 rounds, Jonah P has another pit? Something about these controllers right now in the playoffs are just stepping up and owning so far. But that definitely is going to push 100 Thieves back towards this A side, but a late lurk from Busio, so you're really trying to have him walk inside. But the difference is the alarm bot is really covering this entrance. A late lurk maybe was going to get instantly denied, so 100 Thieves once again has to focus on this A side.
Back towards the right, Trent's ready with the Odin. If they start getting some detection, they have a paranoia in the back of the site to pause, but this protection and tree could absolutely shut down 100 Thieves when they open the door.
There's the alarm bot, gets broken. Busio walks away.
Jeez.
And Trent, meanwhile, though, does get the Odin spray onto EU as the door has opened on the A side. And there's that late lurk.
Damn.
It is punished by Jonah P. You can't cross, you can't sneak through him right now. Hot spots the last 3 players of 100 Thieves over towards the A side. There's not too much time left. They have to commit now towards the tree. Paranoia now puts it straight away. But it's a 1-for-1. G2 still with the upper hand. And this might be it for the call. Spike is already down, and the last 2 players just trying to survive. One towards the tree. Door opens up as Crowd's about to get flanked. Snakebite doesn't allow for him to get out. And losing his weapon will be huge, but he's going to be able to save it for now. And there's that swing out, and finally Leaf is going to be able to take him down, and that's going to put a lot of pressure in the economy for 100 Thieves moving into this round.
Wow. Jonah P 16-3. Like we said in the most recent series for G2, he has been popping off. Still getting more frags here to help the team out. And G2 just seems to have an answer for everything right now.
Their backs will be towards
The fakes that the 100 Thieves are trying
into your favor. Where Boostio said that he felt that his calls were immaculate versus Sentinels yesterday. It seems to be suffering a bit this time around, which forces out this second timeout. Once again, 100 Thieves convinced that their defensive side is good. They want to salvage these last 2 rounds of the first half.
7-5. Definitely a score that would work for a defensive side. And just, I don't feel like it doesn't tell the story of this half too, with how much control G2 has had. But 100 Thieves in the early pistols, they definitely get the work done. Here we are into C now. They do focus the left side of the site. They keep that death ball going. And this is the first time G2's been playing around the door. This could actually catch the back of 100 Thieves at the right moment.
They're going to be aware of this, especially with the turret down, and nobody's watching that flank anymore. Nothing watching the flank, and not even alert towards the east side. So Mike seems once again a middle play towards the C side. Still utility available for G2, and we open up with the showstopper for Asuna. Satchel's missing. It's trying to clear out the site. No shots inside the smoke. We're currently, and Odin is inside of that.
Spike planted.
Sacrifices himself to open up the site, though. Trent has fallen down. Pit coming out for 100 Thieves. Plant has also been put down for the side of 100 Thieves, and there's a lockdown to try to run down that timer.
Icy's 1 away from ult.
Can't find the kills yet. There's that juggle coming out from Leaf. And that will have to forfeit potentially until this fight comes through, and Boostio winning that fight was important for them to convert this round. You already see Leaf being detained for a bit. You talked about the showstopper. He gets the kill onto that one. Not yet wanting to pop it up, though. Waiting for Leaf to move up with him. But time is of the essence. It might be it. They might just want to decide to save. Especially with these kills coming through, it's only going to work on the economy. No matter what the round's going to be in favor of 100 Thieves.
Little singe on the heels of Bang as he gets out with a few more kills. Pit's going to be down on that, right? Looked like it was up again, but no. Down for that play because he used it. A lot of ults getting thrown in there. A lot of ults being built up again. You still have Nightfall for EU as we rewatch this play. A little 1-1. Not much you can do about that situation.
I'd be shrugging my shoulders as well, though, because you're looking at these positions that G2 had when they were trying to retake towards the C side. There was one of those opportunities where they had a Nightfall available to flood back behind it. This time, Icy with the kill with the showstopper. They don't want to initiate it either, so they've been playing very cautiously within these retakes for G2, and almost playing too cautiously and forces them to lose these rounds.
C again. Maybe. This has actually been crazy how 100 Thieves has directed themselves just to the C or A site. The one time they went B, they get taken down. And we'll see if they can focus it again. Icy looking for the ultimate back here to columns. On the forward!
Boostio goes with the boop! And that's the showstopper denied!
Believe it or not, the best way to dodge a raise out like that is to jump at the raise at that close of a distance. Here, though.
Spoke down, though. There's that swing out from Bellin. Ties up the situation for round number 12. So, yes, a nice little highlight play from Boostio. But the action still continues and goes in favor of G2 as Jonah P picks up Asuna, trying to play inside the nanos. And that's going to be the lockdown out from Leaf to push away 100 Thieves, away from the C site.
Slowly backing away. They know this is going to reset it on both sides, so both teams take a breath. 30 seconds now. This positioning here by EU could find one. Just a shoulder!
Catching Trent off guard, was trying to find some utility information. Or throw utility to find information. Nightfall also confirms that the A site is clear, but they don't know. that there's somebody out. Now they do, especially with that Prowler being thrown by EU. A fight towards it, spawn one by Boostio. Valorant, the IGL fragger once again. And it's up to the other IGL of the Thieves on a 1 versus 2. 3 HP left, wounded from the fight by Leaf. The KJ did, oh my gosh! The IGL death! The Red Bull clutch for Boostio to give the Thieves 5 rounds.
He stands up to look down from his tower after the clutch. Absolutely incredible. Those were the rounds that were missing in the beginning, where we saw 100 Thieves falling in those 1v1s, and that's what we said after the timeout, is they needed to start winning the individual fights and all the mind games. Jump at the Rays. It's going to take a bit, but that's what you need to do that close. Super stellar play here in the last few rounds from 100 Thieves.
Lead by example is the IGL Boostio here for the Thieves. Also able to salvage the last round, keeping this game close between G2. And the crowd's up on their feet behind that. Not the G2 fans, though. But the action will definitely resume.
What would have been a pretty terrible scoreline. And we are back onto the map. Viper wall towards the right side to continuously play with it. Wall across B as we would expect. And we get a big B hit from G2 to start off. Icy's in the site.
Already opening up, and that's a Han that's not going to get any information. Pain Shells though does land. He tries to land it for a second kill. Valen's out there for the trade, and it's in favor of G2 so far. Bang though, last player standing. 1 versus 2. Spike is down out in the open, but Leaf moves out with the Sheriff. And no chance here for Bang to go for the clutch. And G2 get the pistol.
That's big. One of the things yesterday for their match versus Sentinels was that 100 Thieves was getting the pistols. They were able to capitalize on a handful of rounds after, and it really started to hurt their opponent. So G2 here doing a very nice job to start off. Jonah P is going to go ahead and use a bit of that cash to grab himself a Guardian. And it was really good job by G2 to continuously do some scaling into the site. If you're going to get in that fast with Icy getting a kill, you just keep moving on through. A little bit of a play towards A. Basic defense to take the space here as 100 Thieves keep it quiet. There's a few Sheriffs across to get some damage done though and see if they can take out armor. And this is where we're gonna have to see if G2 can start to read what Boostio wants to do on
Prowler
defense.
miss. It's gonna get cleared though. Trent's still gonna get that frag, and they wanted to play the close range. Stingers gets all of these, and could have been dangerous if that tree wasn't cleared. But it's looking pretty good now for G2 to convert the anti-eco.
Catch them.
And look at how safe they're being. I mean, you have to be, but I was gonna say, look how safe they're being, even with so much control on the site. You're still gonna have a rat hanging out somewhere.
There it is. That's Leaf with the lurk in the back of the B site. Now realizes, and here's Cryo running away, and that's a long-range stinger out from Icy. Building up the old orbs as well on both the Rays and Trent halfway through his Nightfall as G2 now moves into their bonus round against 100 Thieves' gun round.
Man, it seems like a controller Sentinels game today. The Rays going in are just being used as cannon fodder right now, so it is up to the rest of the team behind them. Even though providing that util to take space makes it difficult to keep the pressure on if you don't have your duelist. So these teams are being tested. All right, this is gonna be a clash here today. We're gonna get both teams going in, TP up by Valen real quick. They're gonna be able to hide behind the wall.
And it's a defensive haunt that gets information now on pressure towards the A side. Prowler's also confirming contact. A TP across. It's spotted though by Valen. Although Prowler gets a pick. A swing out coming out, but it's Jonah P that steals that kill away from Asuna. Or onto Asuna from Valen. And that's G2 now full control of Rubble. And EU forced to watch his back, anticipating this lurk coming out from Leaf.
And even moments like this, I feel like we failed to see from 100 Thieves on the first half here. G2 getting that pressure in. You saw already leaving C, rotation over from Boostio because they have to recover the map and start to cover each other's positions in their 6. And now G2 have that upper hand again. Leaf with the Outlaw hitting pretty true across this series, or across the map so far. And looks like they'll go ahead for a re-hit on A as they just get Leaf info across the map.
Here.
Leaf's position still pretty good. Turret's gonna watch and
Yep.
take care of any pushes coming out towards the C sign, and if they go for quick rotates from C, he's going to be able to hear the footsteps. Especially now that Jonah P gets that pick onto EU.
30 seconds left.
Seems T2 want to pivot back towards his B site for a plan.
Yeah, smart play. You have 2 left. Very unlikely that they're going to be trying to hide in B or give themselves away with a spam through these smokes. A quick peek to see if a planter maybe. No, just the shoulder of Boostio.
With this Phantom, though, Bang feels confident to want to try to pressure at least an initial fight.
Well, he's got another idea where someone is.
Especially when he heard the outlaw into B main at the very beginning. The lays are still pretty good now for G2 on the pulse plan. Orbs up, Nano Swarm down, the push from Bang, and waited by Leaf.
Yeah.
Once again, the economy is going to be broken for 100 Thieves, and they have no way to reset the conversation with the coach, as they have no timeouts now.
The worry from the analyst desk is warranted for Lotus. It does seem like 100 Thieves can't get the strats that we usually see from them that are so aggressive, and that's credit to G2. Such a solid defense right now. Vanity is controlling where they need to be and getting the information that allows them to not move on these situations where 100 Thieves is trying to throw a soft fake. All right. G2 now trying to throw their own fakes as they're on the attack side here for the second half, and Leaf starts off on Bang right away for this 100 Thieves low buy, so G2 feel confident to start moving up.
Just trying to use your heavy hitters here with Bang and Cryo with the Sheriffs to try to get some sort of pick. Once again, one smoke isolating them. No chance to go for any opportunities to even up the tally.
Careful. Careful.
Quiet. Like G2 must feel good about this right now, knowing they can wait for their utility to come back up, check corners, and even before that, maybe get a peek. And there it is. They get a little util, knowing EU's on the right side, so more than likely, someone's going to be hiding in sight with them.
Cryo still winning that fight against IC. There's a trade coming through from G2. Now they swarm inside the site.
No charges.
C's now keeping the players at bay for the Thieves, falling back towards the waterfall. You're just trying to do the damage at this point. It's looking pretty good here for G2 to convert their 11th round. Again, trying to come back into this game, trying to get their first victory against 100 Thieves on this stage in this year of the Americas. And starting off quite well. It's only a matter of time right now for the last 2 players to fall for 100 Thieves. As you see the last player moving through from G2. The footsteps at least is going to call the audio for his teammates. There's that backside for the first kill. Could call out the audible that EU is running up towards the wood. And that will force a double swing out from G2 as EU survives with 9 HP.
Yeah.
And there's the continuous backstab by Jonah P. And this is looking really good for G2 on their first map.
Man, the class is in session with the Professor right now. 23-6 for Jonah P. Absolutely crushing right now.
Planted.
A nice try by EU here, but it's not going to be enough.
Nice. Let's go. Let's go. Professor P, Dr. P.
Pushing P.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's an old meme. Is that still relevant?
Pause for 100 Thieves. I don't know. Maybe. You can ask. Odin for Leaf here, so they start getting some spam on that attack side in.
Use damage, and they were trying to fight for the... Oh, what a wall bang there from Ballad. All the counter sprays coming out from G2, and there's no chance for 100 Thieves to really set up here for the control towards Rubble.
My ultimate is ready.
This, wow, is surgical right now for G2. 100 Thieves looking much different than they did against Sentinels yesterday. But it's more in the preparation of G2 coming into this series so far that shows their dominance now at map point.
And they're a team that knows what the pressure is, right? At Shanghai, we know exactly what they need to do to push themselves forward. And even in these moments, seeing 100 Thieves in the way they played yesterday, it doesn't even look like G2. Well, they took it into consideration, but they're not worried about it. Playing their own game today and absolutely shellacking 100 Thieves here on Lotus. This is crazy from what we expected. 12-5 here as we get into round 18. As G2 look to put the finishing touches on map 1 as we dive into Abyss next. see what they can get here as they push out. It's this focus on the orb, the focus on C, basically all game. And they're going to try to get into sight immediately.
G2 wants to close it right now. Asna's picked off here by Icy, and they have all the utilities to work with here for the take and for the pulse plan, and it's not even needed. The lockdown was always available, but it's just G2 running in for the kills. Now the pit comes out, making it a lot more difficult now for EU and Busio to try to come back and save the round for the Thieves. You'll definitely know and hear it soon. The lockdown should be coming out to secure the round. It just depends now on what EU and Busio are going to try to do when they have no utility to work with. And there's that haunt. Gives away EU's position and somehow lands that headshot onto Icy. And that's a good pick, though, because that's a Nightfall to get more information. Busio then with a second one up to Trent, but that lockdown is still out there. That's going to run the clock down even more. Down to a 2 versus 3. Valent's low in HP. That's trying to move back here, hit by the Nightfall. But things are looking too good now for G2 as EU is trying to close in the gap. Jonah P still holding his ground. Nanoswarm in, coming in to delay even to defuse on that spike. And that's going to be a nail in the coffin. G2 crushes 100 Thieves on the first map.
Oh, that they need to know what's going on in the site here, right? Icy can get in, but that's who's going to be behind him, right? Who's there? This is going to be a tough one. I'm excited to see how they play these out, and maybe it is just to be more defensive with this composition that G2 has, and that's where they're going to get their rounds. Remember, the map is swapped. The attackers are going to be coming from the top side here, as that will change soon. But yeah, we're on to Abyss here for G200 Thieves, map 2. Mid work still being watched here by Busio just to make sure there's no lurker coming out of G2 up the middle of the map. And everybody over towards security right now, trying to get themselves, and not security, sorry, over to that right side, trying to get to B.
Really now, Jonah P just got picked off and spotted by the recon outside for 100 Thieves, so that's going to initiate the execution towards the site. There's that launch towards that back. It kind of pinned Jonah P. No opportunity to just move out, as Leaf is now alone. Forcing out, holding it out there with the first kill for Asna, but not enough for the rest of the teammates to rotate over. But Icy now trying to hold his ground on the top of heaven. Rotation coming through from his teammates. 2 of them moving out towards the Ivy. And Bang is currently waiting just at the bottom. And he's just trying to waste that clock down. Smoke on the top, the double swing from Ivy. There's that pick from Bang. Onto Bang, and Valorant gets the second onto Cryo. But at this spot here, there's an opportunity to get sprays with the Sheriff. EU forced to drop down as he's smoked out. And after the tap, the double swing out, beautifully played by G2 towards the end as they convert another pistol round.
It was so good, right where we actually see Astra running right now. That smoke up towards Nest, placed early, a lingering star there from Valen that helped that retake so much. Absolutely crazy once they got into position here. After getting taken down in sight, a big kill coming in from these two on the Ivy side. And yeah, just not much able to happen there.
You can also see the setup defense that they're doing here for G2. That poison orb that they put inside that site for Jonah P is very similar to how you see other teams currently playing that defensive side on B when it's currently Cypher cages or Omen cages. And then maybe why G2 is also bringing out currently an Astra so that she could place his smokes all over the place and support wherever she could.
The B site becomes such a spam fest towards the end when the attackers do have good positioning on post plant. So yeah, you're right, the Astra Stars are gonna be perfect. Setting those out, you can see here already, pretty default stop.
B.
Smoke and a pull it would be, but Bustio's got a little bit of timing. But are they giving him the space? Yeah,
not anymore.
Droned out.
And you heard the spike falling very early into the round. And this makes it very difficult for a map like Abyss as well. The rotates going in from the B to the A side is very long to do.
Oh yeah, something like 14 seconds when you're trying to get from side to side.
With your knife out, yeah. So you have to be meticulous on how you want to work that map. The micro scaling coming through, nice long range fat battle at least from Cryo onto Jonah B, and Silver Lining will be able to move in and get this plant down and more economy, more money for 100 Thieves into the next round. Outlaw shot missed though by Icy. The second one will connect.
Who gets this? Are they gonna give it to Trent and wait for that run over for defuse? Maybe even Icy so they can get the dimensional drift going down here. But yeah, looks like they'll give it over. So nice 2 rounds here from G2. Should get a bit of money here for 100 Thieves though to get a buy-in. We'll see what the middle of the map starts to deliver from us, how much more focus that gets. Right now we've been just towards the site so far. And I feel like the middle of the map, if it's not controlled, it just starts to give everything away here. The retakes for G2 are pretty confident. Like you said, the way they use the stars, I wonder if 100 Thieves is already thinking about how they can play around those, because B site's not one you can just say, oh, we have it, let's everyone scale. There's not a ladder to climb or stairs to get up to that top side and spawn. So people are still trying to figure out how to get a good, solid hold on that post plant. But focus towards that B site again, with a little more lingering across the map already. You see from Boostio towards mid with the Outlaw, and now they're watching the left side. That's a dart.
I don't know if that's too low or something.
I think it was. I mean, it'd come up and hit the back of your head maybe and show you.
At least if anything, though, you see the difference on the defensive side once again. This time, though, towards A.
Does look like it'll work.
The difference that you see here from the smokes that are being thrown are actually a lot deeper for G2, so they don't want to concede the entrance of the A side. They want to fight for orb control at the same time and not giving the opportunity for 100 Thieves to really push up. And that really is throwing 100 Thieves for a loop.
Yeah.
If you're looking at where the deaths are, they're pretty still towards the attacker spawn. And nobody's able to cross that line of scrimmage towards that side. Look at that utility from the Killjoy. Everything is still up.
Yeah. And we also see, you know, Josh RT just told us they're playing this wall comp that goes through here, causing the attackers to have to run through multiple walls depending on where they're coming from, at least twice.
Yeah.
Unless they're coming straight from spawn to go around it. So that makes it difficult as well. And 100 Thieves think about it one more time before they get a little bit of util here in A.
30 seconds
Recon, though, is going to get the ping towards that back of the site. They don't know where Leaf could be. And there's that plant denial. The Thrash coming out, and Leaf is forced to fall back for a bit.
Flank.
It's coming here through towards U-Haul. Towards the fence, broken now by Boostio. The fight towards the back, won by Valen. And Leaf will also win that fight against Boostio, so the lurk now denied. 2 Guardians against 2 Vandals. They have to move in to try to get the plant down, avoiding at least a suck. And the plant is going to go down for Asuna. The swing right after, though, as Leaf is going to get that pick. EU not left alone, lurking in the same spot as Boostio did before, waited by Valen, and G2 convert their bonus round.
A third one for G2. The scramble to the other side of the site. We see Boostio try to come up mid here through vent and get a cheeky little kill. Turned around on though, and Leaf read it very well. 100 Thieves kind of just pulled the trigger there and said, yeah, Wingman go in, will cause chaos. But Wingman going down left 100 Thieves upriver without a paddle on that one. And they had to scramble into sight to get a replant on the spike. I think they're given not enough credit, I should say, to where G2 is going to be playing, how forward.
Nice.
Let's go! You guys are sure of themselves they are.
At least it's 3 defuses in a row, though, for G2, so that means that's 900. That was actually accrued from round to round for 100 Thieves, allowing for them to go for a small buy. Rifles, small shields. Bang already his shields broken up down to 85 HP, as there was a fight that started off here as, again, staved off by G2.
Yeah, crazy. They flex A main pressure already. Bang has to back up so he doesn't get the good info. This Boostio lurk has to pay off at some point, right?
It's with an alarm bot, though.
Oh, no.
And even the Owl Drone looking up after Boostio falls does spot the hood of Bang out towards the attacker spawn still. So they know it's only a 1 player holding it back towards this A side. They can focus on so many players towards B. There's 3 players from G2 already holding their ground towards this B site. And they're waiting to execute on 100 Thieves. Aside, the spray and a push forward. A 1-for-1 coming in from both teams. Advantage still, though, for G2, and players are still inside this B site. 2 of them tucked in just by the Ivy behind the boxes, as once again, another late lurk coming through. That's Bang in towards that middle. A tap onto the spike, trying to flush some players out. And now finally EU commits.
Timing.
30 seconds left.
Plant on lane. They have a little bit of time to set themselves up. The alarm bot's still there. Oh, Valen shot.
Not the lurk, though, and not the players inside the site. Even Crowd just got pinged out, and he's going to have to go and dance around. There's that second one, and the dash activated. Looks up, but Valen denies it. And G2 will get another defuse.
That site is so tricky to hold if you don't have the distance. You just see how many angles Cryo's trying to look at, swinging his mouse around, almost having to change the DPI to do it, honestly. But G2 faster in every facet right now. Trent got the Hunter's Fury up, Valen, Cosmic Divide, so they can split the map themselves. And it has not been good anything working in mid here for Boostio. Trying to get a push in, it has not been working. And the site holds have not been working either. 100 Thieves stopped at every front. No timeout just yet. Another, like you said, post-plant defuse. So 100 Thieves is still collecting a bit of cash on these rounds. Blade Storm's gonna suffice for a cryo buy. But down to 58 to start off, so the peak becomes even more dangerous.
Change of pace there. Shock Dart to start instead of smokes in
Right.
towards the A side. Now we're gonna have a smoke and a suck available. There you go, gets popped up. Wingman just running like he's in a nightmare. Couldn't cross over to get the plant yet. But Arsenal will score the first blood against IC. A lot of value coming out from the recon. And Trent gets two through the smoke. Arsenal did not put the repel to trade it back. Hunter's Fury available for EU on a pulse plant. And he's stuck outside alone towards A.
No charges left.
With Cryo inside the site. And this might be that ultimate that might secure the round here for 100 Thieves. Cryo with his Blade Storm still. Damaged by the Shock Dart at the very beginning and before the wall comes up. A dagger reaction right in the head of Jonah and gets the other one of the Valen. And 100 Thieves will finally be able to convert a pulse plat.
If you hit Cryo, you better kill him. 58's gonna be enough hell for him to clutch the round for his team with Blade Storm for sure. 9 and 4 after that. A little bit of life now from 100 Thieves here that we're seeing. They were getting the post plant, getting into the site every time, but just could not keep the numbers up. And there, even down to the last person it took them. Cryo is able to get some cheeky shots on though to clutch this. And the one change here, the one big change is they smoke Nest, so Wingman could get in, Leaf couldn't peek it. Like, just the simple things that they were missing on the previous rounds because G2's pressure is there. 100 Thieves got their util out, and it looked like the protocols we're used to seeing. All right, playing across the map this time, big time default. Still leaving Boostio to watch that mid area cam up as we would expect. And it's interesting, usually you'll see a team play their Sova there, drone it as well, a little bit into the round or dart something else, but that's been reserved for G2's A side. And we see Trent staying over there mostly.
Once again, all of 100 Thieves now in the mid round, grouping up towards the A entrance. Potentially once again levering the Thrash to clear out the site. And G2's aware of this, they're kind of giving it up and just focusing on mid control first.
Yeah.
They don't really have any players to play the angles to try to find active information as the Sova. Trent is still holding towards the top of heaven. And there's that utility. The ult's being used by 100 Thieves and Hunter's Fury out from Trent. There's that ping on the first one. The repel to the top, but too late. Busto gets picked off, but at least the plant will go down for 100 Thieves.
Quick lurking.
Oh, trying to move through, denies there the Hunter's Fury. Not expected by 100 Thieves. Plant comes down, a 2 versus 4, and the lockdown is going to make it now difficult
Cover going out.
for the last 2 players to hold it through. He's trying to battle inside of it. They've evened up the situation for the last 2 players, and now it's a 1 versus 1. Bang versus Trent. Fake TP across, and now Trent is walking up. He wants to fight it. He's crouching down, but Bang is ready!
Playoff Bang is just a little bit different. Coming up with the clutches whenever they need him. 2 in a row now for 100 Thieves. Finding what works for them. These collective hits into the site. You see no hesitation coming through there. Able to quickly adapt because, damn, that was a hell of a push by G2 to get Jonah P all the way around the back and stop the Hunter's Fury. But then you got to give the credit back of how 100 Thieves adapt to it. It did come down again to CO before they get their hands on any kills. Back in around 7. A lot of focus for this B push here coming out of G2. They want to try a protocol right after the timeout.
I want to be quick here. It's a lower buy. Jonah P's already moving up here with the Sheriff, and that Dizzy's going to get so much right now. So much value. But now, unblinded, trades forward, fighting forward. Bang trying to answer back, but he's low. Damage down to 17 HP. Hat now being thrown out on the attack side by Bucio. Now gets the information that 3 players are inside the B side for G2, yet they still want to move forward to fight against it because of the advantage that they have on their rifles.
Hail Mary cage to protect from heaven. G2 now coming from that Ivy position.
Battle the first kill, and there's the fight towards the Ivy. The plan is down for 100 Thieves. Bucio and Austin are left against Valen and Jonah P, and they only had the Vandal to work with for G2. Upgrade at least to something is the Sheriff in the hands now of Valen. And both of them, 400 Thieves, are just playing in front of the contact. Okay to play that because there's no flashes to be used here for G2. There's the up and down, and that is not enough for G2.
I thought G2 had that. The quick up down, trying to just break some crosshairs there, but 100 Thieves showing a bit of power that they had yesterday and reacting to these plays. G2's been doing really good at getting themselves into position, trying to get the right play down, and here even to push up that far. You see G2 again pushes this round to the last drop, even when they came in with a lower buy. They're making 100 Thieves work for it, and work for it they are. Another round goes over the Thieves. It's just early A.
And they go for the shock dart instead. So once again, early, conceding early the A side, smoke to delay a little bit more. A lot of the focus is towards this B site, and again, you mentioned here Zix during the interview. They don't really have an opper. Well, Icy's gonna hold it. He's on the top of this box on the B side, and I think it gives him a pixel peek onto a Viper wall when it gets pulled up here towards this B side. So this is gonna smother a lot. 100 Thieves, but he decides to fall back. I mean, there's been no pressure here coming out from 100 Thieves in the first half here of this round. So they have to reassess the information now for G2, where they can capitalize on their defense.
Here.
Trent, he's up in that A heaven area, just waiting. His nest is what 100 Thieves are taking as they start to head towards that B site. Danger on the left. Can definitely fall off the map if they get themselves tripped up here. And it looks like they're just trying to play the touch and go game to see what util they can get out of G2. Pretty deep thrash here, but trying to get lower site info.
And the info is that the site is clear all over towards the B side. You're going to have G2 to try to have to take a retake with an op in hand, but at least they have the dimensional drift. And in a map like this, we could spray a lot. There's potentially good value you could get outside of this dimensional drift. There's Icy now moving in.
She's still gunning for
Trying to spot that information. Gets the info that there's two right there towards the lane. The flash to come out, and the thrash still delays for a bit. Molly shock dart, no contact. Dizzy, blinding leaf. As now we're about to get a battle just around the corner towards the lane. That's 2 kills now in favor of G2. Trying to get the wallbang kills, and Leaf finally converts onto Cryo, while the rest of 100 Thieves falls inside the B side, off the flank from Valid on top of that. And G2 will manage to get a clean retake.
Yeah, incredibly strong retake there. I think 100 Thieves trying to huddle a few towards lane there, got them caught up. Because that's such an easy high-low position from close quarters to play for the people retaking the site, and you don't know they're playing high-low until they're peeking, right? You can't really hear them, see them coming running in because of the util dump. Also, on top of that, it's just a lot of chaos if you're trying to play close in B, and that's why we've seen a lot of teams take that distance, try to play some of the shots from down the ramp and in the nest, but it's just not working. G2 are collapsing on 100 Thieves right now. They stopped the 3-round run from Thieves. That just a little bump chuck there on the wall. That'll be staying on the ground, and we do have that operator on Icy still, and it did not affect them on slowing down the retake.
This was the first time, too, that we've seen a flank coming out from G2 towards middle when it wasn't ready by 100 Thieves, so you're trying down to adapt to it. Boosty was already putting up a camera towards the middle, but it gets denied by Icy as it's trying to walk up. Being watched down with the op, well, yep, the answer is there. They do have an opper for G2, and Icy could land his shots.
I got to be prepared for it, right? If you look at the mini-map, you stop anybody from crossing this spot, they go A or they go B. And right now it looks like they do want to try to get towards that A site. A little encroachment by Bang. Oh my, Asuna.
That was nice. And Valorant couldn't get the wallbang shot there onto Bang at first. Utility pushes him away towards security. Trent, though, is up there on the top of heaven.
Yep.
Watching down and covering his teammates. And that leaves Asuna alone, upgrading from the Guardian onto the Vandal. Lee's trying to get a plant once again for 100 Thieves to build the econ. It's successful. 3 players up there spraying forward, and looks like the Windman stayed alive for the plant, yet as the smoke dissipates, it's G2's round towards the end.
Focusing the Trent ultimate as well. 100's Fury working so well on a map where it takes a long time to rotate. Well, you can get a little bit of Sova util before that full rotation comes in. So neat little focus there. As Icy does get the operator to go to work here, even on the Yoru, too. And man, for not having an operator, it seems to be really putting a thorn in the side of 100 Thieves. Let's see what G2 now have for round 10. Actually, it's going to be a flashes too. It's just
probably want to do the funnies too of the rolling thunder knocking people out.
Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. You shoot one towards that lane side in B and just bye-bye. You make sure you got to play out of sight. So this early dart again, just consistent control and letting 100 Thieves know they're there, right? You say, okay, Trent's going to be here again. Our smokes are a little less effective because he's going to dart over or dart in. Shock darts. Icy's going to make us less effective because we only have 4 players. The op again gets another kill. Crazy stuff from him on the Yoru too.
Thought that 100 Thieves are going to be ready for that, especially when you see Trent out in the open and prioritizing on breaking the owl drone out in the open so close towards the entrance. Yet unfortunately, no utility followed behind the A take. Yes, it was a paranoia being thrown by Bang to push away Trent from this position, which potentially could have helped here 100 Thieves to flood inside this A site. But now as they lose the spearhead, Cryo falling down, there's no way to really create some big space inside this A site unless you see this TP from Bang, but he cancels it. It was only to try to find information as they realize once again that G2's playing for the retake.
Still, even with that smoke, you see him taking down Wingman as it goes to the plant. Oh, this is sketchy.
In favor now of 100 Thieves, and there's finally a utility to delay.
Okay.
The swing out from the top of heaven. Thrash towards the back spawn, and it spots a couple of players, though. Actually, 3 of them towards the spawn yet. Busio was trying to swing that fight at security. Denied by the Opposita, though. Anchoring alone, and there's that trade-off from Bang. Upshot miss, but Jonah P's right there. Still a 2 versus 1. EU now alone. One of the players that you want left alive here for 100 Thieves to try to clutch around for you. There's that first headshot under Trent. And Jonah P, the other one of the highest in the clutch now in the VCT Americas. Recon dart towards the ground and pings him out, but he clutches under all of it and gets the kill onto EU, but there's no time for the defuse. The round still goes in favor of 100 Thieves as EU gets the Red Bull clutch.
EU wasting just enough time. The choice to backpedal to the left after the kill onto Trent is what saves his life, knowing the sight rack would already have come around, or at least feeling that. What an incredible start here for G2 on the round, but 100 Thieves persevere inside. Got a little scattered here, but EU pulling out the clutch moments at just the right time. he was like, wait, was that enough? That's where we're at right now, ladies and gentlemen. 6-4. We get into round 11 now. The operator's still out. Odin for lead here, so looking to really deny something.
And the Dizzy missed Icy, and he was trying to go for some sort of a wall bang. In the end, you saw the snake bite coming down towards that ramp to give that space to allow Icy to move up. But he decides to forfeit that position. I kind of like this, though. You see him rotate back and forth. He's already TP'd back towards middle, but at the same time still has another gate crash to go back towards B. So they're really moving him around the map for G2.
Perfect in peeking, too. He can just get out there. Easy, safe gate crash if he doesn't like the shot that he gets or the look he sees on the other side. And they can easily play mid, but it's going to be this death ball here coming in from 100 Thieves towards the left side of the map. They're not going to have Boostio, but they might be able to get this lurk that Jonah P is going to push on.
There's that same execution. Potentially a paranoia to go out towards the heaven, but you're trying to leverage the Owl Drone to get a Hunter's Fury pick inside the site, but it doesn't clear enough. Owl Drone stops here at the mid side of the A site. Recon Dart, though, does get the ping onto Icy. There's another one that gets a lot of value on the side of Trent. Plant still denied this time around by G2. Big flash to come through as players are falling down now for 100 Thieves. And the lurk finally identified by Leap, who makes sure that Busio stays on the ground.
Stellar defense by G2, especially with that first kill. That kill going over on the push from Jonah P. It didn't even matter. G2 already had a hold on the site. They are playing so confident right now amongst each other in their positions. And yeah, that heaven position, I don't know. A lot of times we see the ISO using his ultimate there. You see other fault lines from Breach going towards that heaven position on A. It is so dangerous for the attackers to get in and have to keep looking up and break your crosshair from a regular position. And G2 has made it such a problem for 100 Thieves on A.
Now the gate crash to fall back, but that's going to definitely prioritize 100 Thieves on a flood towards the A site. One-way smokes being thrown so that the updraft from Cryo allows for him to look back down towards the defender spawn.
They get up there right away.
And finally, this is looking good for 100 Thieves because they finally take control here of the up of the A site. Now rotation through the vents off the dimensional drift. It finally gets broken. Icy coming out and gets a short kill on the Cryo.
No.
Hunter Tyrion on the attack though with the layer by boost is stepping up. Advantage now for 100 Thieves. EU with this Hunter's Fury. Answered back now by Trent on that side into the 1 versus 2 towards the end. Well, the spike planet towards A site. Dropping down now, recon dart. Trying to stick it towards the halfway. There's that wide swing by EU. And he's still, like a boss, tries to stick it halfway. But the Thrifty is in the end won by 100 Thieves.
What a crazy round. The repush by G2 there looks so good as they just smothered 100 Thieves here after the dimensional drift. And then 100 Thieves again adapt to the chaos, figure out where they need to go and what they need to do. And bang, it coming up very big with EU again. Fans, we got to remember, 100 Thieves got 5 last map, but that's all they had going in the second half too, so let's see if they can get some more.
Coming out of the pistol round, it was 7-5 as you mentioned before, Riv, on that map of Lotus. It was on their favor. Now 100 Thieves has a chance to fight back on their defensive side. But a 7-5 scoreline right now in Abyss is something very common that we see, right? We see 7-5 scorelines, 6-6 scorelines. It's very close.
Yep.
At least to kick things off.
Can 100 Thieves grab the pistol? Is our question, right? It's been something it was seen to need here in the rounds. Lane action.
That's a nice read by Buzio to start a trip set in a great place now, but Jonah P and G2 has something else to say. Heavily wounded at least though for G2, trying to move inside the site, but it's only right now Trent out towards the lane, all alone as Asna slipped in through the net, inside the smoke, finally pushed away by Nanoswarms. But the 1-for-1 bang now alone. That now guarantees the plant for G2 out towards the lane for the spam towards danger. It's just waiting it out. Let go of the button by accident. Gives a chance now for Bang to close that gap and get into a high ground. Nice little jiggle that came out though from Trent. And that gives away Bang's position. Jonah P trying to make it difficult now for Bang to get information. The wall came up to allow Trent also to fall back, and there's that smoke for the defuse. The tap first, the recon dart goes in, and Jonah P walks up towards that ramp, and that's another pistol round now for G2.
Jonah P is something else in this series right now. Stepping up in the past few games overall and crushing it here. Nicely taken over towards A. That was almost kind of delayed in who hit the site, and then they had everybody still back down the ramp looking to see what the reaction of that site hit would be. And when they had 100 Thieves kind of just crash right into the site, they all saw G2 down at the bottom of the ramp spraying off pistols. Here G2 looked to go towards that B site again. And the wall just gives them a little bit of safety here to use early util, but then creep up when they want to.
It's okay, it's another tactical. Don't give any alt orbs while you're on an eagle, right?
Absolutely.
Opium.
Okay. Okay. Boostio.
If anything, if you look as well at the buy that you currently have from G2 on this map, Trent with an outlaw. We saw Leaf with an outlaw. We saw Icy with an op. So when Zix says that there's nobody that can really op once again for G2, it feels like they heard that. And they want to show right now that it's going to be very difficult for 100 Thieves to close out this map and try to push it to a third. Push out towards that back of the site, spots 2 towards the IV. Long range classic, at least some salvation for Cryo and 100 Thieves to do some damage and to get a pick.
1 enemy remaining.
That potentially could be the only pick left.
Ooh, Cryo playing it dangerous. Go back over and see if he can just get at least some armor off here.
Yikes.
That'll do.
Get the whole body instead. Upgrade now to a Stinger, but might not be the weapon that he wants to save. Just trying to stay within potentially the radius of the spike going out. So trying to keep away from the remaining players of G2. But once again, the rotation back is cut by Jonah P. And that's starting to look pretty expensive though for G2.
He can hear him running too. So he's backing up. Nose 2 are going to be on his tail in just a second.
And that's where he falls.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some great damage done by Cryo towards the end. 2 kills, dropping down, no orbs picked up by G2. And also you're seeing that the bonus is going into potentially a heavy gun round, a heavy gun buy. They could get reset here by 100 Thieves, who allows your Cryo cells to pull out an operator after getting 2 Stinger kills.
What did he do? So he was trying.
Trying to go for the jiggle inside the window.
He's like, how far can I step off this? Just a little bit more, a little bit more? Paid for it. All right, across the map. G2's trying to just give a little bit of a hit at each site so far as we see the spike rotating back around as they insert what looks like Valen for just a moment to make sure there's no retaliation. Mid-watch here from Cryo. 100 Thieves. They should be able to grab this round full buy. They have the operator on Cryo. Zix was talking about this is where they're going to find their advantage on the map once they can get it into play. We have to see for ourselves. Okay.
We've realized now that there's an operator out in the hands of 100 Thieves, and in the end, for G2, it is a buy that's going to be healthy enough for the next to get a full gun round. Decoy now being pushed out, allowing Jonah P to slip through. And he's trying to find a timing now, just by the boxes. Plant now coming down over the dizzy spots, and that's an easy kill for Cryo. Ooh! Dink from the Stinger long range. There's the other trip coming across, and that's the second time that it gets activated, so they have to be aware for this for G2 moving forward. But so far, it's looking pretty good for 100 Thieves to close out on a flawless. Trent, last player standing, sprayed across on the smoke. There's the damage being done. There's the jump through from Cryo, and a right click to seal the deal for 100 Thieves to win their gun round.
Cryo ult 2 when we see this one coming out. A nice job by 100 Thieves to collapse back on the site. I don't even think we got a round like this really out of them in the previous map. The confidence that they hit the site with, they were playing with each other all over. Double team on the site take to the right, on the left as they swing. Very nicely done there, especially to get the operator in sight so quick, because that can slow everyone down. Flawless is what they needed. None of this G2 getting so many frags that 100 Thieves might win the round, but it's only with one person here. So 100 Thieves have finally found a bit of an answer, but they still got a long road ahead, it seems, with what G2 has been doing and how they've been playing. Play towards A for G2 on this as they look for this A main control just to start off and go for that orb grab once again.
Time to jump.
The setup that you see for 100 Thieves is posting up the op down towards danger. Cryo looking towards the window. And the camera set up by Boostio is going to allow for him to swing out potentially towards the entrance of the B side instead. But for G2, there's a little bit of a pivot.
Yep.
Trying to find information off the Yoru ult. Spotting a couple of players on top of the A site. And he TPs towards that back. It's heard by Bang, forced to turn around. And that opens up the gap, the TP. It's a fake across the whole time. But you see here, throughout this moment, nobody has moved for 100 Thieves towards this B site.
Inserted Leaf, just waiting over towards that B side. Looks like they do want to get a re-hit as Cryo starts. Some Asuna headshot through the wall.
And now the battle won by Asuna. And now we try to walk in, the lineup coming through.
What?
And fakes to fakes, inserting players moving forward inside the site now for G2.
My gosh.
That's 2 flawlesses in a row now for 100 Thieves, and they're rolling in the bank.
So it was the op? Like, that's crazy. The operator's on the map in G2, while already a team that we know plays very slow. We see them start to sweat for the first time. Not have an answer to get into the site and losing the members that they need for these protocols. And not seeming to have an audible there once they lose those priority members. So operator is still alive. They are going to move it around on that side 100 Thieves as they look to get a quick peek down B here. And they know this is where G2's felt comfortable. So maybe they're trying to rock the boat, 100 Thieves.
At least now with the wall that's been set up on the attack, it allows for them to get a orb in their control on their Thrifty. Okay. Nice little pick there by Leaf on the top of heaven inside the window. And that's the cages on the defensive side. Held up here by Boostio. Trips does sound the alarm on the one, but couldn't get the wallbang kill.
You should run.
Trent down to 4 HP. The push forward saved by EU. But there is Jonah P once again inserted on the rotate. That's a 1-for-1, but that's still information. Plant coming down. Lockdown is up. And that's going to keep the players at bay for a bit, and also allowing the players of G2 to set up with this Hunter's Fury.
Yeah, 3v3. Trent is limping over there, but trying to stay in a safe spot. Will he be found by Asuna?
And he has potentially even the range from the spawn just to overlook towards the spike, but now with 4 HP left and the players not getting kills inside the B site, most likely going to save here. Okay, maybe not. Pushing forward, the defuse coming through. Not enough time here to get the Hunter's Fury out. Just time to do some damage, but at the end, it's once again around 400 Thieves on the defense.
Boostio grabs one for himself, and yeah, to keep the operator alive. That's dropped back over to Cryo. Boosty, what are you getting back on that scoreboard as we were talking about before? Having a bit of trouble, but now all of 100 Thieves is starting to come alive here in the second half. And we kind of looked at what would be happening here for this comp, right? Icy can get into the site, but who can really follow Icy in this one? They don't have too much to go off of on that unless he has the dimensional drift. I've been loving the tech that Icy's using once he gets into sight, as Yoru can just bounce a flash off the floor, and it's perfect height for the boxes around the site that he can start to toy with. And that's still feeling comfortable there.
That's what you need. Utility coming out from the Silva, from the decoys, making sure to spot out where their trips are so they can break it. Not giving a chance here for 100 Thieves to set up on the defense towards the back of the site. There's Icy with the TP inside that site, denied by Bang. Paranoia coming out on the defensive side. Gucci with a pick and a hat out. Information that the last 3 players are inside the B site. Committed now are G2, fighting towards the lane. But the reigns and the fights are still in favor of 100 Thieves. Fallon inside alone cannot get it done. And 100 Thieves have tied up the game.
Literally, picture perfect what we were just talking about. It's Icy going in sight, forced to make plays with a hell of a lot of utility from G2 over his back. That's what they want, but 100 Thieves is reading it. They know they're usually only going to find the duelist in sight, trying to take that fight, trying to hit an interesting flash, and then just look at ready for him to come out of the smokes. Blind faces there from G2, trying to turn corners, not ready for the peaks. 100 Thieves a step ahead now. And we get a timeout that your opponents are going to use to make these trips count when your team comes in, or you are in there alone. So big props there to the defense on the B site. A little bit easier. We see a lot of ciphers being picked up for Abyss. A little push out on the left side from 100 Thieves as G2 are taking it much slower this round. The operator mid for 100 Thieves is, well, not mid this round, but that operator on the map has kind of released the pressure across the rest of the map, right?
Yeah.
They can just look forward for anything at B. What's ahead of them is what they're seeing. Mid's easily covered, so G2 have to do something different. They got to turn a page in that strat book here, get through this eco, and then hit back even harder after they call this timeout.
At least some ults to work with too. If they can get some good picks out for G2, might be able to activate these, take control of the map. But right now, the Owl drones, the Sobas, showed themselves here towards the mid control.
Oh,
we're back now to the mid round.
I wonder if that's the play. That's a jump trip. You're just gonna fall down and get a little bungee action for a second before you fall off if you're in the motion.
Yeah, if not a confirmed kill for sure from Bustio's position.
Yeah.
Oh, it was spotted. Leaf now trying to look forward. Shock darts inside the site. There's that double cage, and Bustio definitely wants to play towards the lane. A TP towards the back. It's actually working out now for G2. This allows now the ults to come through. There's that pit coming out from Jonah P inside this B site. And again, the Hunter's Fury moving all the way back towards the spawn on the attack.
And they have to retake this with an op against the low-buy weapons that already was huge priority inside a pit.
And now it comes down to if you decide to use this scratch to try to retake that site. 2 of them now pinned out just on the extremity outside the pit. Out towards Ivy. Dizzy spots 2, and there's Icy though. Able to play close range. Trail from behind. That's gonna drop. Drop that onto Icy.
3v2.
We turned it around, but remember, this Hunter's Fury is still available for Trent, and it seems as though time has been wasted enough right now for G2 to leverage this. Tap on that spike, and they'll be able to hold on to the Hunter's Fury no matter what. Smart play now for G2 to convert the 50 round and to regain the lead.
Oh my gosh, they don't even have to wait for getting through the eco. The timeout from Josh RT rights the ship, and they pull through with that one. And this, the difference, the big difference, everybody was in sight when you saw Icy take that clone in, or take the gate crash in. It wasn't just Icy. What a swarm there from G2 and the teamwork they used.
And secondly, also instantly breaking Bustio's utility inside that B site, so there's no trip kills
messing
that's set up here. Exactly. So yeah, it's not really utility to flush them out, it's just utility and weapons to make sure that they break the defensive line, and it works out. It's a huge 50 round now, allowing G2 to get a gun round. Decoy now being pushed inside this B site, not being shot at, and the camera sees that nobody's behind following that smoke. So 100 Thieves could still stay anchored up here in these positions.
You see the clone coming through here, but Boostio has changed his trips. So the clone didn't actually activate on one. We're getting now a push towards the left side that they don't get a peek out of that or any idea of what's going on at the site. So G2 now trying to reread the map.
It's just an op waiting here. They sense it at least. Trent with game sense, starting with the Owl drone. Recalled smoke potentially.
Ooh.
Who's next?
Now opens up here the site for a bit. Dimensional drift and a Thrash to try to answer back. Hunter's Fury to be shot out now on the attack side. There's a TP towards the back, though the crowd's gonna fall. Advantage now coming out for G2, and a punishment once again out from Icy onto EU. Only 2 players left alive. It's a full rotate out from 100 Thieves from Bang and Boostio. And a perfect setup once again for G2 on a pulse plant.
Where's the money for 100 Thieves right now? It looks okay for another buy here because G2 is putting the pressure on. 100 Thieves are going to have to come up with something here. These rounds from G2 are just so strong. Coming out, knowing that they can rebuttal against the ultimate coming in from Asuna with a quick Hunter's Fury, but also playing off of that as if it was the strat they wanted to run in the first place.
Gate crash, fake gate crash, pushed over. Beautiful crossfire. It's too good now for G2. Only needing 2 more rounds to get a spot now at Champions in Seoul.
So incredibly quick. Playing around each other. The comms must be so crisp for G2 right now to be making these calls and changes in mid-stride of the strategy to make it work here.
And look at that.
Can't stop it.
On that execution, a good old thing that I think that they also did on Bind, just getting like that Astra Wallet IO. Being very good in his situations where he was able to score first blood to give an opportunity for 100 Thieves to convert these rounds. But for the rounds that are coming out for G2, they've been pretty good for the last 2 rounds to avoid this off. And continues into the same type of conditioning. The Viper wall up with the decoy moving forward. Cameras on the other end. Extra utility this time around, though, with the Owl drone looking through and a spot where the op is. And already, G2 backpedals.
Again, move the trips. So the clone does not detect. A lot of rotation from 100 Thieves right now. They're trying to get back into position. They're trying to follow and read G2, but cement feet right now, staying in this 3-2, just looking for the re-hit. The re-hit has been the game plan for G2 almost every time. With all the smokes they can throw down and the distractions, the angles they make for themselves, and that chaos that Icy causes, it doesn't seem like 100 Thieves can stop it.
And this is what was important. The orb that was thrown up here from the Viper to block down the lane, to block down vision, forcing now a passive hold from 100 Thieves with the op back towards the spawn at security. That's where G2 is able to group back together towards this B site and now execute in. Cagers are now coming up from Boostio, but the trips are still good and the recon as well. And it's a 1-for-1 though. Smokes all over the site. It's Pandemonium moving inside, and it's Jonah P able to drop down the op. Plant now coming down for Trent at 24 seconds left. Jonah P trying to find that flank, and there's nobody there. 2 players now grouped up towards Ivy. Asuna trying to get the wingman out to try to get information. It does find Trent towards that back, but no spam's gonna be able to take him down. He's actually the one that's able to headshot Asuna. The swing out from the left side. Beautiful crisp shot onto Bang. And EU potentially has no choice but to try to save this weapon. But right now at 11-9, he feels the pressure. He feels like he has to go for the heroic play. Tap on that spike, the suck to keep him away. And that's potentially going to be it. All the players now set up, the jiggles coming out, and G2 on top of that, get the final kill and puts themselves at series point.
G2 are vibing with this comp. Josh RT again in the early interview saying, yeah, we got a Viper comp. And this double smoke comp is actually cooking for them so well. If you think about it, how many other teams would feel comfortable putting their entire roster on this comp? So just this idea that G2 is gonna have this and maybe a few other teams if they even stay with it, right? Because they can change. This might just be working for one game, and man, they have cooked it up. You saw Cryo trying to get kills through whatever smokes there were in A, then trying to find the right angle. But G2 knows the angles because it's the smokes they're putting down, and they're confident to even swing those angles. That's why it looks so dominant right now in how they're taking the sites. Over towards the A side with the middle, a little mid lurk, as 100 Thieves are trying to figure out what defense will stop G2.
And G2 was also trying to figure out the setup. There was smokes, recalls, turret coming out, and a recon towards the top mid, and realizing that there's nobody there really trying to watch the angles for 100 Thieves. G2 has an inkling that we're turtling up inside the site. Yet we don't know how many players on which site, so they're trying to expend a little bit of that utility in the beginning. But now there's really nothing left. The Allen was used. They have to wait for the reset from Trent with the recon dart and potentially go for a gamble pop.
We'll see if G2 is ready to make history on their end for the Org and take down 100 Thieves finally in this head-to-head. 40 seconds left in the round, so we're not going to have to wait too much longer to see what that result is. They're choosing the soft site, though, for the side of G2. Such good movement throughout this entire series, and they may get it on their last round, too.
And the Orb now allowing the Dimensional Drift to move inside the B side. This may be the final push out for G2 to close the series. Now finding all the info towards that back. First blood scored by G2. Plant also coming down for G2. Hunter's Fury, no value out for the 100 Thieves. And now it's time to play the post plant. IC's holding back towards the site, towards the main entrance, potentially playing for sprays once again. And 100 Thieves have to run down towards the ramp to fight.
Exactly, they need this push as well coming around, or they cannot do much. Already time dwindling on that spike, and they're not going to have much once they get the kills pushing forward to get back and defuse.
And there you go, there's a concuss coming through. There is actually the wingman coming out from off half, down a halfway. Dizzy now being thrown towards the danger. Bangs with the flank, but it's spotted by Leaf. Now EU answering back, the push down, but the fuse comes in for Boostio. And they fight another round here for 100 Thieves. On top of that, 4 kills for EU.
A complete situation of if you throw enough bodies at it. Oh my gosh, just leaping forward as human shields with a little bit of damage to be offered as well. Enough for Boostio to get the defuse here. And this is really the first time that we have seen G2 leave the site and play that full back. There's been a few times in the 2v1, but never the full site. They keep control, they've pushed up. Yeah, that was different, and 100 Thieves just started to attack like rabid dogs at the end of that one. 12-10 though, still got a lot to work through. The money has been weird since how much G2's been going down in these rounds of works here. Could definitely be a big round here if 100 Thieves are able to take it.
This is such a deep lockdown that there's such an opening here for the defensive side to still hold back towards the A site for 100 Thieves. And it's a Hunter's Fury just to make sure that it looks back towards that side. It does get the ping onto EU. It gets the kill onto EU and a ping onto Bang. Another opportunity for G2 to now close it through, but Bang trades it out before he falls. TP towards the back, waited and greeted by Cryo. Cryo with a point again. It's down to a one-on-one. Spike yet to be planted. Trent with the recon. Boostio the IGL, only with the Guardian now for 100 Thieves. And he's trying to wrap it around right now. Trent's trying to find him. And they look through at the wrong angles. And this gives an opportunity now for Trent to set up for a plant. But he goes for a tap instead. Looks up, misses the shots. And now can confirm another fake plant to try to move through. And playing it smart is Boostio. Throwing the hat down. And that resets the momentum now for both of these players.
Left.
Goes for the plant. Double shot
now. It's Boostio forced to move forward. Reload coming out from Trent. Shock darts, no damage being done. Boostio now wrapping on the other side. Guardian shot misses. Vandal shot also misses on the side of Trent. And it's the waiting game. Falling back towards the security. And he could now play the time in his favor for Trent. Boostio always afraid that there's going to be a swing somewhere, so doesn't want to upgrade to a weapon, doesn't want to give away his position, finally spots him, and this might be it right here. Pre-fired shots coming out from Trent, recon dart coming through, the push forward by Boostio, the headshot from Trent,